Okay, Brian, you've been talking quite a bit behind the scenes about what position group you feel like is most likely going to be addressed in the first round. The Athletics' Jon Machota with an article about it today. We go to Johnny Matches, and he ranked your top 5 most likely positions to be taken by the Cowboys at 24. Where would you go with it, or what do you think is going to happen as of now?
I think it's going to be I think they're hunting a center. And I think they're trying to figure out which one is going to be there when they pick at 24. Okay. Will it be Barton or will it be Powers Johnson, the center from Oregon? I think they're comfortable with either one of those guys. That would be my guess. I think on their board, the center might be higher than whatever tackles on that board.
Would be for me.
So that's
most likely.
That's if I had to place a bet on it right now, and I know we got a couple of weeks until this thing kicks off for real, and then maybe you'll get somebody leaking some stuff to you about the direction that they really think. But my gut feeling right now is they're hunting a center,
and that would be at least best player available compared to the tackle.
Well, the best in their stack, they might have these 2 centers, Barton from Duke, Powers Johnson from Oregon, higher than any one of these other tackles that we might be talking about.
So it's looking like best offensive lineman available?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an offensive lineman. That will be your pick. Now, if you get, it seems like Graham Barton is starting to get a little bit of hype leading into this thing. It was Powers Johnson was getting a ton of buzz. Now it's moved over to Barton. Maybe he's not there. I mean, it seems like a lot of the mocks you're looking at, he's not available. So do you pivot? Do you go with a Guyton from Oklahoma at tackle? But I do think it will be whoever the best offensive lineman is, most likely will be your selection, unless you get maybe a trade up if one of those guys starts to fall. We've talked about Fuaga, the offensive tackle from Oregon State. I think that's the only scenario you see him move up. I think Zach Frazier, the center from West Virginia, could also be a sneaky fallback option. That could maybe be a trade back.
I think that's
scenario.
a trade back too, yeah. And to me, they might even take – I wonder if Frazier gets to you at 56 in the second round.
He could. I don't think he will, but he could.
Okay, if you trade back, say you trade out of the first round, there's a couple of names I would keep an eye on then potentially. Would you say Cooper, the linebacker from Texas A&M, is a trade back?
Yes.
And then I'd also think Frazier from the center from West Virginia.
I also wonder about Peyton Wilson. I
linebacker from North Carolina State.
He's so darn good. If they view him medically as like, this guy's okay, he's played 2 years, we're fine with it, because the tape is undeniable. The guy is just awesome.
Yeah.
So Machota goes offensive tackle 1, center 2.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle 3. It's disappointing that they need defensive tackle, and I think at this point I'm rooting for them to take offensive linemen over defensive line because I just think there's a much better chance they'll have a hit.
I think a running back will probably be higher on their board again than one of their defensive tackles.
But he doesn't. The running back position does not make Machota's top 5. He goes defensive end and then wide receiver, cornerback. Speaking of running backs, let's jump over here to a Blog in the Boys. They have aggregated a couple of different spots that are taking a look at third-round runners. Braylon Allen, Wisconsin, or you could have Bucky Irving, Oregon. Between those two gentlemen, which one would you prefer?
I mean, I would look at one of the other backs personally than those two, but I do think I'd take Bucky Irving over Braylon Allen. Now, they visited with Braylon Allen. He's a big back. He's 6'2". To me, for his size, I don't see the physicality. If it's blocked up, Braylon Allen will get it for you. He was highly productive at Wisconsin. I don't see a lot of creativity in the way that he runs. Bucky Irving is more of that slithering, explosive type of back. The issue with him comes from what we've talked about with pass protection. He is a smaller guy at 5'8". You can see him get bullied and run over in pass pro. But as a runner, he's got great field vision, contact balance, very explosive, and he's good in the receiving game as well.
I feel like with Allen,
sold me.
Well, yeah, I feel like with Allen, he could be a guy that you could feature. I think Irving you have to split time with. I think you have to have
the size.
I think you have to have 2 backs for Bucky Irving to play. I think Braylon Allen can play, handling the ball. I mean, his toughness is super impressive. His elusiveness is not.
He's not going to create.
No, not at all.
But good speed?
Not really.
Average.
Not really. Not really.
Average
for
speed.
Allen.
But like I say, he is a he's a tough guy, and he's got contact balance, and he's going to finish forward. He's more of a bully than he is anything.
Okay. What do you think about this report here? Bruce Feldman says the Cowboys really like NC State linebacker Peyton Wilson. I believe you just mentioned him a few moments ago. A linebacker name to watch for the Cowboys. Is this something we can get excited about? I mean, we need like the next Sean Lee to be able to step in here and a significant piece that the opposition has to account for in every play.
He'd be a more athletic Sean Lee. I mean, he's got the smarts, the intelligence to read and diagnose, but his sideline-to-sideline speed as a rusher as well, he can get after the quarterback. I mean, he's got some of the most impressive tape from a linebacker that I think you've seen in years. He would be the best linebacker in this draft, Brian, if it weren't for the injuries.
Yep.
I think we agree on that.
He's my number one linebacker, even with the injuries.
I heard Brugler this morning talk about, the injuries, double-digit surgeries on his body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the fear.
He is a Sean Lee.
That's one of those where for me, if I'm a GM and I find that out about the player, I'm not even looking at his tape. I don't want to be sucked in on something here that be like, oh my gosh, I will bypass my principles. That's not injured guy. That's historic injured guy. Double-digit surgeries?
Yeah.
But the last 2 years, he's been healthy with NC State.
He might not have an ACL.
We'll go day 3.
Neither did Tajay Spears.
Round 5, 6, 7, something like that. I could see, because of the Cowboys' need. If you got 2 years now of not getting hurt, maybe you figured something out. Maybe you changed your diet. You were on the wrong path, fast food and sugar. You switched to vegetables and alkaline water and lean protein. The next thing you know, you're not getting hurt. Give me a narrative. I'm willing to buy on that for that kind of talent on day 3.
Everybody you're looking at right now.
Cowboys will take him day 1. Sorry.
Well, everybody you're looking at right now, as far as some of the top players, have all got something wrong with him. He's got significant things wrong with him.
Yes.
Yeah. But like we've all keep saying,
if they took him, dude, you would love him.
Yeah. He is going to make every single tackle.
He's incredible.
He'd be hurt the second day in Oxnard.
If that's the case, then you can tell me and Zach we're all full of S.
Okay. All right. Well. I feel like I do on a regular basis. Anyway.
I know. I just thought it was kind of par for the course. I wanted to set you up for you're okay, but doing it. Yeah.
Gosh, dude, I'll tell you, all this draft talk's got me.
It's exciting.
Got me a little bit hungry.
It's draft season, baby.
I'm hungry, dude. Thank God the fans' path to the draft this year is brought to you by Pluckers.
Ooh, that is right.
That's
We'll be at all
as well.
8 Pluckers locations partying with you on the opening night of the draft.
Come eat fried Oreos and ice cream, and we'll have ourselves a time.
Holy mac and cheese.
Nachos.
Oh, my goodness.
I might break a record on the consumption of the Holy Mac.
That stuff's great.
We got to have a wing count at whatever location y'all are at, like we did with the beers at spring training. I want to see how many the Chiefs can get through.